hello. How are you guys doing? Happy Thursday. It has been sunny today. I don't know if you can tell, but I stayed in the sun a tiny bit too long. And I thought I needed some motivation to write tonight. So even though I'm meant to stream on Thursdays next week and the week after that, I think, not this one officially, at least it's not in the calendar, I decided to do a pop-up one because I wasn't sure I was going to do any work otherwise, and I really would like to. Hello, Stig. Salut, mon pote. I love that you learned that sentence. That's fantastic. And yes, fun new intro song because I just got out of my deal with Epidemic Sound, which means that I'm now paying the full price per month, and it was a lot more than I remember it being, and I was like, oh fuck. So I thought maybe I should cancel for next time and get some copyright free music. There's a website called Upbeat. What is it called fully? Let me find it. Upbeat.io. Yes, upbeat.io. And you can have a free account where they give you 3 downloads per month. But you have to credit the songs. So that's what I've done, and I'm going to test this out and see if it works for me. And I quite like that song with that intro, so I might switch my main channel intro as well to that. I'll see. I don't know. Just to go into the full details of why there's a new intro song. Also, I see Anna's here, and just to note, I have tried to do the same for the Lazy Gang intro because I keep getting the copyright issue popping up, even though I paid for that music initially and it was all meant to be mine. But they're annoying me every single time. It doesn't stop us from showing the stream. Like, it still is fine, but it's annoying that it pops up as like a copyright, not strike, just like note or whatever. So I'm trying a new song for that as well with the same system. And so if we do that, we just need to use the Upbeat credit every time we use it. That's all. Just to notify you. Sorry, I'm like literally chatting to Hannah about Lazy Gang business on my stream, but whatever. Hi, Becca. How are you? How's it going? Hello, Miley. How are you? Becca says, I have done absolutely nothing today, so I needed this. Yes, we need this. I'm the same. So yes. And hi, Anna, by the way. Stig says, I outlined the rest of my novel today. Amazing. Only 11 scenes left of this novel. That's such a small amount. That is so good. You're doing so well. I hope you're patting yourself on the back. I know you're not because you never do that, but you should, because kudos. Miley says, I'm still at work. That's okay. Hope I can keep you company while you're working. Stig says, and I've done my writing plan for the day, so I shall be starting Story Grid today. Amazing. I think I'm going to be starting tomorrow or Saturday, because I actually put it in my calendar when I wanted to start it, and I think it's Saturday. Yay. And yes, Stig, amazing. How's Project Alien going? Well, I wrote what I think is my first chapter, but it's very short and it feels a bit like potentially a prologue again. So I know you're going to hate it because am I adding prologues to every single one of my books or what? I'm exaggerating, and it's not that prologue-esque, but it's a bit shorter than I think the other ones will be. And it's a bit more to introduce the character, the main character of Themis. But I think maybe I'll fluff it up later as well. Like, I could add potentially more thoughts from her. Like, it doesn't all have to be action and reactions. So maybe I'll add some bits in round 2 when I do draft 2. Or even if I have ideas while I'm writing, I might do a bit of a headlights writing and go back to it, and I'll see. But I've got 1,139 words total for now. So I'm going to try and start chapter 2 today. I feel a little bit like not nervous, but worried about how outlined this is. And I'm terrified I'm going to like not know how to write a scene that I've prepared and that I need to write, and that it's going to be like boring because I've already decided what's going to happen next. So I'm really scared of, like, my past as a pantser is making me worried, is what I mean. Hello, Just Right with Jody Jean Daniels. What a name. Love it. I'm just going to call you Jody, I'm assuming. Nice to meet you. Stig says, don't too quick, Miley. One of these scenes is simply, they have a final showdown. So it's not extensive. Fair enough. We're anxious millennials. We are physically incapable of patting ourselves on the back. But we will constantly remind our friends to do so. And I think sometimes we have to talk to ourselves as our friends. Short chapter 1 is a-okay. Yes, it is not officially a prologue. I just feel like because it's a bit shorter and then we're going to have a different location straight after, I'm like, is it a prologue? I don't really think it is. It's sort of in between. It's an in between. I had a dream about you and Steve last night. You both were jumping on a bed and drinking champagne. Somehow neither one of you spilled. I love that. I love that. Yes, that does sound like us coded, to be honest. Absolutely. That's really funny. Speaking of alcohol, I'm gonna share my my new cocktail timer. Where is it? Here. And we're just going to use this and we're going to do a chunky 45 minutes. I hope that's okay. I kind of just I just really want to get a bunch of things done, and I feel like at the moment 30 minutes is a little bit too short for me to feel like I've accomplished things. And I do like this Marta way of doing chunky 45s and then you're done with a lot of it. So we'll do a 45-minute and then we'll have a little chat and then we'll likely do a second 45 minutes and then that'll be the stream. I think that's the plan at least. So if everyone is ready, where's my tab? There is my tab. Let me move it so it's easier to find. There's my tab. There we go. Let's go. Here we go. That was it for the first sprint. Let me stop sharing. There we go. How did you guys do for this one? I feel like that 45-minute went by so quickly. I've written a total of 452 words, and I'm pretty happy with it, but there's a couple of places where I'm already noticing things I'm going to want to change, or especially make notes of, because it is sci-fi, and I feel like with sci-fi I tend to stop a lot in my tracks to make notes of things to make sure it's like filled in my world building, so that I can refer back to like the way I'm calling a device or something. I need to make a note of this so that I can refer back to it later and name it the same way later. Otherwise, I end up with 5 different names for the same item. So yeah, that went quite well. I'm fairly happy. I've got my first sentence of chapter 2 I'm really happy with, so I will read it out loud very briefly to you guys, and then I will go through the comments. They called it panacea because they thought we'd found the cure to any and all ailments. The thought strikes me like a bee buzzing at my ear with no warning, and I almost stumble in my steps, but catch myself on the wall of my block's hallway, the rough, textured concrete biting into my palm. That's it. That's the only sentence I will read. If you have been writing and you're quite happy with one of your sentences, or if you want to tell me the last one, feel free to share in the comments in the chat. I would love to read those, so please do if you're willing to share. Let me go back to the last comments I had read, which was Becca's dream about us drinking champagne. Yes, that was very us coded. And then we got Wendy that came by but left, I think. Can't stay but wanted to jump in and say hi. Hi and bye. Keiko arrived, made it from work. Yay. How are you doing? How was work? I hope you've survived and that you're okay. Hi, Michael. How are you? Marta said, oh, I didn't realize you were streaming today. Hi. And I think also bye. I don't know. Yes, I was just going to start heading to bed, but I wanted to pop in to say hi and leave a like. Happy writing. Thank you for popping by. It was a not really a pop-up because I did plan it midday, but I wasn't planning originally on streaming today. So you're not wrong. Don't worry. It's just that I was like, I really need the motivation later to do some writing because I've got an actual goal for the month now. So I'd like to achieve it. So yeah, it was a last minute decision. I mean, not that last minute. It was a midday decision for later tonight for myself. Michael also arrived and then left as well, going out to the bookstore now, but possibly could be back before the end. Maybe see you later then. And I said the dishwasher repair guy came and oh my god, he was so chatty. So that was my whole sprint. I'm sorry, but also, yeah, I got it. Are you working at the moment? I find that I feel like so annoyed when I have people coming over and I have to chat to them and I'm like, this is taking away from my work time, and then I have to explain it to my bosses or something, and I'm like, I'm sorry, this guy was over here and I had to chat forever. But important to repair your dishwasher. Very important. Hi, Wallace. How are you? Thank you. Becca said, wrote 1,020 words. Oh my God, that's amazing. And finished a chapter. That is really, really good. Stig said, delightful. I got through all of part 1. Amazing. Took some notes. Love the book so far, but it definitely feels like I'm reading a college textbook, but very prescriptive and hands-on. So you should enjoy it. Okay, so it's not that daunting, is what you're saying, despite it looking and apparently being like a college textbook. So is part 1 very big, or is it like, because you said got through all of it in that first 45-minute sprint, right? Or did you start earlier? I'm just very curious about all of it. But I haven't got it on my Kindle just yet, and I will get it tomorrow. Miley said, I fed a baby milk. Okay, I fed a baby milk. Okay, that is not one word. I don't know why my brain glitched here. And chased him around the house. That makes a lot more sense. Very good, very good. And that does sound productive in its way, you know. Love the opening line. She's an author. Yeah, thank you. Love. Thank you, guys. Maya said, I shaved my head and the baby is not liking the feel. That's really funny. Geico said, I survived, but we had a customer who was just stupid to use one of those vaping thingies to the point I was with all 3 supervisors supervisors in the office talking how to deal with her. None of them speaks English, so I had to translate. Oh, that is painful. I'm sorry you had to go through that today. And in the end, one of the student jobbers who also vapes talked to her, trying to explain what she might possibly do wrong. She claimed the vape thing isn't working. She was on the third. And then snapped at the student jobber that she's going to be on it how she wants it. We have children's safety may get his middle of things, so she had to suck at the vape thing really hard because of it. Okay. But didn't. And blamed us. This okay, sorry, I keep trying to find the end of these messages. I think my supervisor will lose their shit if that customer comes back tomorrow. So yeah, fair enough. Who did I skip? Anna, yeah. I'm off early only because I had to start work quite early this morning. Oh, I'm sorry for that. As long as it's not 5 a.m., as long as you didn't have to get up at 5 a.m. and be part of the 5 a.m. club again. It is small. Okay, 40-ish pages, 11 chapters. Okay, interesting. Heading out to an appointment and run some errands now, but I hope everyone has a productive stream. Thank you, Alice. Thank you for popping by. Steek says, love the author's voice. Oh, are you listening to it? I didn't realize. Sorry. It was about his background and initial philosophies. No, okay, you just mean the author's voice in writing, right? Because I feel like normally you don't do audiobooks for that, but I might be wrong. And maybe you do mean the author's voice as in listening to it. Call him. It was about his background and initial philosophies. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the editing 101. Okay. Nice. There's always a chapter that is introductory and that tells you the background very much. Yes, the author's voice in writing. Gotcha. Like I said, my brain is glitching a lot today. Sorry. I tried to get 666 words, which is a half of the 33 I should write. That would be a great number as well. I want to streak for April, writing every day really bad. I mean, as long as you write 2 words you've written that day, you know, like that counts. As long as you write like any word at all, that will count. Dare I say this might become another fave? That is very early to call it. Interesting. Very interesting. But it is one that has been recommended to us a lot, I feel like. And I've seen online a lot of people mention that book. In case anyone is jumping in now, we're talking about the story grid, which we're going to be talking about on Steek's channel at the end of this month. What date is it that we're doing this stream on? Sorry, I never know the dates. It is, I have it down as the 29th of April, when we'll be talking about the story grid, which is recommended as a good one for self-editing and for understanding how to edit. So I'm very curious, as well as someone who considers herself to be done with the art of summoning demons. I really hope I don't have to go through another round of editing. I mean, I have like some small comments to address from Anna's last round of reading it. So I will address those, but I'm not doing another draft. Like I'm not reworking it, but I'm very curious about what the recommendations are for editing, because that is hard to do, I find, personally. I shan't color your opinion on it, so I'll shut the fuck up. Last Tuesday of the month. Yes, the story grid by Sean Coyne. He has an entire story engine you can feed your story through to see if it's done or not. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Shall we jump into another sprint? Let me find my tab. As always, I'm struggling. This is my tab, and I will get us to... Oh, also my chapters finally work. I realized this, in case anyone cared at all about this. I'll share my screen again and I can show you. I was having an issue here with my chapters not showing up. It was so stupid. It was because I didn't have the 00. I just had the first one up, and I didn't have 00 as a starter. And I think that's what was breaking it and why they weren't working. Like you could click on the time and it would take you to the time, but you didn't have them here in this line, which was so frustrating. But let me go back to perhaps the plain timer and we can do another 45. There we go. Did I click on 40? I'm an idiot. 45. There we go. Yeah, so as you can see now, they work. Okay, let me make this full screen. Oh, and Mystique is leaving. I shall go to bed. Fair enough. Good night. Sprinty sprint. Bye, Steve. Working a double shift tomorrow, so gotta get up early to get my words done. That is absolutely fair. Bye, friends. Love you all. Happy adventures. Hope I'll see some of you this weekend. Yes, can't wait for the April Adventures streams over the weekend. Good night. And on that note, we're gonna jump into our second and last sprint. As you know, I do 2 hours on Thursdays, and that's it, because then I get tired and I want to have an hour to chill on the couch. So that's what we'll do today. So we'll do this last 45-minute sprint and then chat for a little bit, and then we'll end the stream. Get ready, set, go. it. Let me stop sharing this. There we go. And making sure that it's not playing anything else after. Oh, very good. Okay. How was that second and last sprint for you guys? I am pretty happy. I've done another 100 words or so in my manuscript for Project Alien, and then I stopped because I wanted to do some video editing. So I did a majority of the time some editing of my second episode for Project Alien. So the one where I'm talking through the outlining process and going through it with some vlog footage and everything over the month of March. So essentially my March vlog. So I did a good chunk. I think I'm already more than halfway through because there was an entire week I took a lot of B-roll footage but didn't vlog anything because I was quite ill. And so I didn't really want to speak, and I wasn't doing that much anyway. So a lot of my B-roll footage is like me walking the dog, things like that. So it's not that productive around that part. So actually that means I'm halfway through the month already in the editing process. So I'm pretty happy with myself. How did you guys do? Was that a good enough sprint? Was it chunky enough? Did you manage to get what you guys wanted to do? I believe Stig left, and then afterwards we got Keiko, who just said, "Finished chapter 1. Amazing. So proud of you. You're doing great." Becca says, "Worked on TikToks. Nice. And played World of Warcraft." That is absolutely fair enough. That's so funny. My husband plays World of Warcraft as well. You do mean like the old game, right? Like not a new version, right? Because I find it hilarious every now and then he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing with, these random guys," and then one guy will be like, "Oh, sorry, I gotta go pick up the kids," and then leaves. It's so funny because back in the day, you think of World of Warcraft as a millennial, it was like what young people were playing, and now it's like the same people who are still playing years and years later. Which I find hilarious. Keiko got 573 words and still need 93 words. Oh my god, you're so close. You can absolutely do it. And yes, Keiko also knows World of Warcraft, of course. Well, yes, I've been playing on and off for 20 years. That is so funny. I love the mechanics of it, but I never was into World of Warcraft. I was into very similar games. One called Ragnarok Online, and it was also an MMORPG, and it was extremely similar mechanics, like super, super similar. It was also like bash the monster until you get the loot. There's like little quests that you need to gather however many leaves from this specific monster, but you are only level 5 and they're level 20, and I don't know, like it's very, very similar, and I loved it. It was so fun, but it was a lot more anime looking because it's an Asian game, and I don't think World of Warcraft is. I might be wrong. I don't know my history of video games enough to guarantee any of that information. Miley says, "I got the baby to nap and just finished the family dishes." Nice, lovely. Today's they advertised the Minecraft movie and told it came out in Minecraft came out in 2009. Yeah, that makes sense. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah. Genshin Impact? No. No. It's Ragnarok Online. That's what it's called. I'll type it. Ragnarok Online. There. That's what the game was called. No, I never played. My brother played Final Fantasy games, but it was the non-MMORPG ones, I think. I don't know. I don't remember the numbers. There's too many. Heard about that one but never played it. I think it's just really, really similar. So I kind of like when I watch my husband play World of Warcraft, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I recognize super similar mechanics. It's just very interesting. I always played a rogue type of character. Again, the classes are extremely similar as well to D&D. So if you know D&D, you just sort of know these games. Interesting. But yes, on that note, that was our last sprint. I think I'm gonna stream again next Thursday and the one after, potentially. I'm gonna potentially try, if I don't have plans on Thursdays, to do every Thursday of this month, because I now have a new draft that I'm working on. So that would be great. I definitely put in the calendar that I'm streaming next Thursday, so the 10th, and the 24th. But I might not do the 17th. I'll see, because my parents come to London the day after. We shall see, but it's going to be a busy month and I'm excited for it and I'm feeling productive for it. So this is going to be fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm so happy always to have friends like you guys who come to my stream and just make me feel less alone when I'm trying to be productive. So I'm very thankful. Thank you for the stream and streams. Thank you for coming. It's a nice hangout while I finish work. Have a good rest of your week. Thank you guys. As usual, I don't have an outro, so it's going to be a cold ending, and I will see you guys next Thursday.